Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy. Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
And Rossy.
All right. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. This is episode 201, and you can possibly see on the screen that we do not have our good friend in Adelaide, Braggy, joining us tonight. A birthday party of all things took precedence. So I hope you're having a good night, Braggy. But we do have Rossy, the celebrity roadie from Sydney, with us. How are you, Rossy?
I'm very well, thanks, Tony. I'm very excited to be here, and like I just do all Braggy's work for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we get used to bloody propping him up, don't we? So, yeah.
I'm not going there.
And we do have our very special guest. We've got Jason Resch with us. Jason has a very wide, varied sort of a musical background, but he's just recently released his first single. He was formerly of a band called Darlinghurst. So welcome to the show, Jason.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's look, I've been listening to your single at the moment, but before we go to that, I guess normally when Braggy's here, he'd start off with the big question. So I'll sort of paraphrase him and say, so look, we know that you've had quite an extensive career and you've worked really hard and traveled the world and done a whole lot of stuff, which is very cool. We'll get through all that. But how did you first realise that music was what you wanted to do? Like, what kicked it off? Was it the family? Was it anything else? How did you? When did the light go on?
I guess when I was very young, I think my parents. This is what my parents sort of said. Like they were always saying that I would kind of get drawn towards sort of musical things. We had a toy piano in the house, and I used to be banging on that thing at a very young age and just make a noise. So they kind of they bought me a small like upright piano, and I started banging on that eventually, and then started learning chords, and that as I grew older, and learnt on that, and then but it wasn't until it was probably till I saw a Elvis Presley live in Aloha from Hawaii concert.
Yeah.
I got that on. They gave it to me as a present halfway through the year in grade when I was 6, and I watched that, and it was just sort of one of those moments. I didn't know, I was still probably too young to really understand, what it's to have a music career, but I just knew I wanted to do that moved me so much to watch that, and so that's when the everything sort of just fell into place, I guess. Yeah.
Are you still an Elvis fan?
Oh yes, 100%. I've been to Graceland more times I've been to Memphis, if that makes sense. So I think I've been about 4 times. I think so, 4 or 5 times.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, it's wonderful. And when they brought it, they brought it to Bendigo too. Or Bendigo or Ballarat, and that was awesome.
What did they bring over?
They brought like I guess it's like sort of kind of showcased quite a few things from Graceland. So they brought a lot of the suits over and stuff that you haven't seen before. So it was wonderful. It was, absolutely wonderful.
When you stand in front of that leather suit, man, in the across the road from Graceland, it's like, man, you're like,
it's pretty amazing when you see that, like just the stuff that you watch on videos and stuff, and then you see, like, I saw the winged cape, and I got very pretty emotional, like just sort of looking at that. Just So it's awesome. So massive Elvis fan. He's the king. Yeah.
My favourite exhibition is the little TV with the bullet hole in it.
Yes, I did hear that story. So I don't know what TV show was on. So
it really got the TV actually across the road in the museums. You know. Like it's everything the guy ever owned is on display, isn't it? Like everything. Everything's
there. I just think you just can't go upstairs. Upstairs at Graceland, but beautiful place to visit, and the whole history, of course, if you're an Elvis fan. Even if you're not an Elvis fan, it's just
it's really worth it.
Significant,
And of course, I've never been to Graceland, so.
No, but if you've been to Nashville, Tony,
I have been to Nashville
for a while. You've been to Nashville, haven't you, Jason?
Yes, I lived on and off in there for about 4 years. So that was awesome. So that was hence a couple of trips to Graceland when I was out there.
I've done that drive too. I know what it's like.
Worth every minute of it.
So you grew up in Victoria, yeah?
Yes, I grew up in Melbourne, and I just did music, and I had to go to school and all that, so did all that. And
do any little pub bands and all that sort of stuff?
Yes, I was in a pub band from 13 till about 17, and that's kind of where my move to England kind of started from that sort of situation. So pub band, played all the pubs in a lot of the pubs in Melbourne, and
fair few.
Come home, go to school the next day, smelling like cigarettes. That's
right. That was the world in those days. You'd sort of, like, I know I'd come back from tour, and like I was a smoker anyway in those days, as everyone was at one stage. But I'd come home from tour, and I'd open my bag. I had a big duffel bag full of just t-shirts and jeans and stuff, and you can almost see the fumes of smoke just wafting out of the bag, the clothes. It permeated everything, right?
Yeah, different time, I guess.
Sorry. Go.
No, Jason, just before Rossy starts diving into some stuff, I'm quite intrigued by your background because, you've gone down a couple of different genres, and, you've collaborated with Kylie Minogue, which, my God, I should have my Kylie shirt on. So, you've done quite a bit, but what was those early influences? And we've heard about Elvis, of course, but as that 13 to 17 age group where you were playing in a band, who were your biggest influences on your own musical mindset, songwriting, or musicianship?
There's probably in sort of stages, because when I was younger, from about 8 till 13, I guess, I was like, it was just Elvis and Billy Joel. Billy Joel's probably the biggest sort of songwriting influence on my life starting out, and even reading the back of the Elvis albums that were at the house, like I was always curious what Lever and Stoller meant, and I find out that they're songwriters years down the track, and so that kind of all started from there, and then when I was in the band, teenage band, I was and I still am right into AC/DC. They're my favourite band, so I just wanted to, just be a rock and roller, I guess, that I, as you do, and so there's different stages of it, but the songwriting thing, I think, started when I was younger, and kind of without me sort of realising, I guess I was, quite attuned to it, but I didn't really dive into it properly until I went over to England,
So you went to England, you're only pretty young when you got there, were you?
Yeah, I was first time over. I was 16 or 17, and I made the move, a more permanent move when I turned 18 and finished school. So made the move over there, and what was meant to be just a couple of months ended up being almost 4 years. Yeah.
Wow. So what was life like for you living in England? What was that like for you?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was so I worked at the production company called Xenomania, and we were out in a town called Westerham in Kent, so just like a beautiful village. We were probably the loudest house in the village because all the music coming out of that house. But it was wonderful. It was in a healthy way. We're just sort of in our own bubble, just making music like 6-7 days a week, and that was all we did, and that was kind of pretty much all I focused on when I was out there. I was just really focused on making music and doing what we needed to do. So it was wonderful time.
Did you move with mates or the family?
Just by myself and the bass player in the pub band as well. So we moved over together and just did our thing and lived in each other's pockets for that time as well. So
for a bloke that young, it's really incredible that you had the guts to go and do that. You know, I could never imagine doing that at 18.
Yeah, I think looking back on it, it's not something I really sort of thought about too much. I kind of just followed the intuition and just did it. And looking back on it, it's quite pretty cool. But had a great time and yeah.
How did music work out for you in England? What did you do there? What stuff?
Sorry.
How did music end up working out for you in England? What sort of stuff were you doing?
My job out there at Xenomania was an in-house musician. So songwriter, I was a composer and then a session musician for the records that we were playing and for the and also for the artists that were being developed there. So worked on all sorts of things. Predominantly, it was pop music, but just a great learning experience to work with just being so used to the AC/DC thing for a few years, and so kind of getting back into pop music, I guess.
So you've gone AC/DC into some pop music, and then ultimately you've taken a detour to Nashville and then back to Melbourne. So this is a journey, Jason. So what got you into Nashville from your pop days in the UK?
Well, growing up, my parents used to play a lot of country music in the house. So there'd always be like Don Gibson and like Annie Arnold and I think there's like a John Law's greatest hits or something like that.
Greatest hits.
So that's where I heard like Don Williams, and then George Jones we had a George Jones album at the house too. So country music I listened to the older stuff growing up, and it was sort of the last year I was in England where I started listening to it again, and that kind of worked in with, I guess, sort of my desire to go to the States and do my thing out there, and so that's how that sort of happened. But country music was it was there in the early years of my life, but the older sort of country. Highwayman was my first concert actually. It was yes, so that was good. I just regret because I only wanted to hear On the Road Again, and that was the last song they played. So I did fall asleep, unfortunately. But they opened with the Highwayman song, and then so I got that. That was good.
Look, I've fallen asleep on two bands in my life. One was Talking Heads, and the other was U2.
Oh right, okay.
I don't know why I fell asleep. I was tired and emotional, probably.
Must have been a cranky old man, Rossy. So then you've come back to Melbourne and you've helped co-found Darlinghurst, and ultimately I'm not a country aficionado. I'm sort of and Rossy's pretty much the same, but we're getting a real appreciation for this fresh country music that's taking shape here in Australia. I think it's doing some amazing things. So tell us a little bit about Darlinghurst before we get on to your single.
Yeah, Darlinghurst, that came about from when I was coming back and forth from Nashville. I met up with a producer called Pete Dacey. So I was starting to work with him in that sort of last year when I was back and forth in Nashville. I moved back to Melbourne permanently, and we started working a lot more, a little bit more permanently together. And he knew one of the singers from the band that wanted to, the two girls wanted to, in the band wanted to start look for their own original music. So they paired us up, and long story short, things just gelled at the time, and songs were getting written, and then Pete knew Matt, the other gentleman in the band from, I think he did work experience at the studio, which would be pretty cool work experience to have, and we sort of kind of all sort of put in the same room together and see how how things clicked and everything. So that was kind of like the basis of how Darlinghurst started, and then it was just off to making an album from there.
Mm. The female vocals in Darlinghurst. So I caught a couple of the tracks today, and just beautiful. So you can and unfortunately, first time I've heard of the band, but the vocals really do stand out. So obviously they're going okay. So tell us a little bit about "Talk of the Town" as your first single. So that
came about from it's probably not the most elaborate story. It just literally just came out of a daily songwriting session I had, and so that was kind of I was listening back to it, and I was thinking, oh, that's not a bad song. I was getting quite excited about it. Yeah, so I sort of there was a handful of songs I kind of parked aside, just sort of under a bit of a what if sort of scenario if I decide to maybe release something down the track. So it was about a year ago where I made that decision to release it, and I don't know where it came from or anything like that. But when people ask where the inspiration stuff, a week before writing it was I was in a cafe, having coffee and all that, and just hearing like other groups talking and gossiping amongst themselves, and I just thought of things like the things that we do and things that we say, that's kind of like a form of currency in itself, all that sort of stuff, and gets passed here. So that and the Clint Eastwood movie from that week, I think inspired the song.
Look, I will say I had a good listen to it. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times in a row, which is unlike me, to be honest. And I found it to be really well crafted, beautifully polished. I really enjoyed it. I watched the clip. I really liked your Ruben. It's like a Les Paul custom, is it? Special.
Yeah, it's June. Yeah, Ruben guitars out in Fenchurch Gully in Melbourne. There.
I'm a lover of the Les Paul Juniors myself, actually, because they're the classic rock guitars. But the song, I just thought, really polished, sounded great. It grabbed me straight away. Like
thank you.
Really enjoyed the track. I don't know, you, Tone? But I thought,
very similar.
I had hooks, and I enjoyed it a bit. It was the guitar playing was great. Really dug that. I like the aesthetic of the clip as well. It was cool. It almost looked like someone was shot. Like it wouldn't have been done in Sydney, but it, like there's a place in Redfern that it's got that warehouse vibe too.
Yeah, that was done. That was down out in Murtoa. I get. Might be saying that incorrect, but the Stick Shed is what the place is called, and it looked on a picture it looked fantastic, and then you get there and it's just something else. Yeah, so highly recommend it, and very grateful that they allowed us to shoot there. So
I thought it was really sonically the record sounded great. Like the song sounded great. It's, it's a testament to the amount of work you've done. You know what you're doing.
The producers of the song, that's the record, they're called M Squared. So they're yeah. So yeah,
Did a great
that's why
job,
it's
mate.
they're phenomenal. So yeah, it was wonderful working with them again, and they just made the record sounds what it is,
But it does
so
start with the song. It all starts with the song. It's all about songs, you know.
Yeah,
yes,
and
yeah.
the producers just make little pockets work that maybe we didn't see before. Jason, with your songwriting, so you've been writing for a long time. You've collabed and co-wrote. You mentioned just before a daily songwriting session. Walk us through your process on how you generate your songwriting. Is it something that you discipline that you do daily, or when the inspiration hits?
Uh, it's both, but it's a daily discipline sort of thing. Like almost everything that I do every day is kind of works towards making music and writing songs, and so it's every day I'll be working on something or working towards something, and but it's nice when things do spontaneously hit as well. So it's there's the amount of times I've had to stop a shower to rush to my phone
Like,
because it's just when it does, you gotta catch it. So yes, but yeah, it's it's spont spontaneity and discipline, both very, I run both of them.
the advice we've
Yeah.
had from a number of songwriters is, and especially if you're keeping your phone near the shower, back it up. Back it up. There's so many songs on there.
Yeah, I've backed up. I think I've got backed up the backed up the backup. So
Good one.
you just never be too sure, I guess. It's just
Gotta
too
make
cautious.
a mate of mine who writes songs, and he was telling me, he just said, look, you capture all that sort of stuff, and then when you're stuck, you go back and you go for a deep dive, and it feels like you're ripping yourself off.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jason, what genre do you put yourself in, or do you put yourself into a genre? Because it's not traditional country. It's authentic to you. It's got a really fresh sound to me.
Pop sensibility too.
Yeah. So where do you sort of see yourself on the conundrum or the continuum of music?
I generally leave that up to the listener. I kind of just make music that excites me and that I get inspired by. So anyone that listens to any of the music I make, hopefully they enjoy it and
Who are you
don't
listening
shut
to
it
at
off.
the moment then? Who are you listening to at the moment?
What was I been listening to yesterday? Well, yeah, Burt Bacharach and the Sex Pistols,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
Okay.
nothing wrong with Pistols.
it's a bit quite eclectic, I guess, thing. But yeah, so those Burt Bacharach more like kind of there's a greatest hits kind of album that he's got that so like all the Carpenters and Joan Warwick on there. And,
Lush production stuff.
it's phenomenal. Yeah,
It's
absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
Pistols don't do a bad 3-minute pop song either. They're really a rock and roll band, you know?
Oh, the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're great great songs and attitude and I just love it. Yeah.
I love the guitar sounds too. Jonesy's guitar sound is fabulous.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to this mashup. You know, we've got Elvis, we've got we've got AC/DC,
Kylie,
we've
Pet
got
Shop Boys.
Kylie, Pet Shop Boys,
There you go.
Sex Pistols. So put all that together into a song, Jace.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be hearing a punk song from me as a solo artist anytime soon. But no, I love listening to. I just love listening to what I love listening to, and just great music. I don't know, just I love great music's great music, whatever that means to people, and it's
But, there's so much stuff you can listen to. Like, it's interesting you mentioned AC/DC earlier because I know a number of bands, a number of genres who are just so drawn to them. Like I saw the Hives who were just out here. You know, the Hives is a Swedish band.
Yes.
And they just go, AC/DC is the greatest band in the world. And they love the Stooges and AC/DC. Can you go wrong? Stooges, AC/DC. Yeah, okay. I can live with that.
Stooges are good too. I like Raw Power. That's a great song. It's I don't know what it is like. Yeah, I got turned on by them because I was about 12 when I I saw them without sound when I was walking from school, and there was a place called Sight and Sound, and they had them up there on the TV, and just even without listening to them, just the power that they just sort of presented, and I sort of knew of Angus and the Schoolboy outfit, but I never heard. And then I heard Highway to Hell, and I was like, oh my god, this is
that was a game changer for them, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I don't, there's some things, just get drawn to certain things. So best band in mine.
But Angus would rather listen to Muddy Waters or B.B. King than Eddie Van Halen.
I think that's where a lot of their inspiration.
Yeah, Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
Straight rock and roll, can't beat it.
So, Chuck Berry was I actually learnt how to duck walk before I learnt how to play.
So essentially, you category of faking it till you make it.
Well, Dad. There's a guitar. They got me an acoustic guitar, and there was a video with Chuck Berry playing Memphis, Tennessee, and he did the duck walk. I was like, oh, this guy's cool. So I got the guitar, and I was like, instead of I just started to try to duck walk before I do it. So
I'm doing it a couple of years later. It's like, well, that must be just part of learning how to play guitar, I guess.
I must be on. Yeah, I don't know. Just whatever's lined up I'm not complaining. So it's been good.
Hey, it seems to be working for you, mate. It really does. It really does. What do you think, Tone?
Yeah, Jason, are you playing live at the moment anywhere? And when you play live, do you have a band?
There's no shows as yet under the solo sort of artist sort of thing, but as yet. But yeah, it's at the moment I'm kind of just focused on finishing off these new songs that I'm working on, and but I guess we'll see what the next upcoming months bring. Yeah.
Are you doing a fair bit of the marketing yourself, the old socials and all that sort of stuff?
Oh, I try my very best too. I'm honestly I live under a rock a lot of the times because I'm I like keeping to myself and just making my music. But it's all part of this day and age. Part of it. But I try and show up as good as I can, and then I get back to work and do my thing. But it's just how it is.
Snip your clip up into a bunch of reels, mate. Looks great. Such a great.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Cutting up all the reels and all that.
No. How'd you your clip? How did you the production process of getting to doing the clip and designing that?
Oh,
fantastic.
Yes. So that was directed by Ian Ritter. So he did a lot of the Darlinghurst videos, and we just I always feel comfortable working with him, and he made me feel comfortable in front of a camera because I'd rather not be on. I enjoy being here. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a pretty shy person, to be honest. I guess with being in front of camera. So but it was awesome. Few hours we shot the video and we had Mary Katanchen. She's amazing singer in her own right. She came down and she played the character in the video too. And we wrapped up and got ourselves some dinner.
Like the little Walkman, the Walkman to open and close the clip.
Yeah, that was a good touch. I think that was the manager's idea, I guess, to do that. So like Walkmans, they're right.
Yeah. I thought you looked very cool on the clip. You presented very well, mate. Very well.
Thank you. I must be hiding my nerves very well then, I
guess. and I have to say, not presenting like the traditional country artist. It's more a bit of the cool Melbourne vibe that we see.
Hair, mate. It's good hair.
Yeah, good hair.
I guess so. I guess the same with the music thing. I just you just show up and just try and be yourself as much as you can. So that's just how I show up, I guess.
Yeah, too easy. Jason, I'm going to ask you one final question. It's one we always seem to have a bit of a chat about. You mentioned you were working on a couple of more songs. So are you just looking to release them as singles, or are you looking at a greater body of work like an album?
At this point, it's just I guess anything I'm working on, it's always just I guess a body of work until I sort of finish them and I listen back to them. I kind of make a decision what I want to do. But I think there'll be a couple of songs in there that I'll be sort of thinking about, down the track. But we just have to see, I guess, and see what the next few months bring, I guess.
Excellent.
Completely get that. Like it's hard. Like, because the models change for everyone. Like the model that you started off working on when you were in England is not the model that exists anymore, right?
Yeah, and I guess like it's just progress, I guess, with anything in life, I guess, and you just try and navigate it as good as you can and in your own way, I guess. So so I do try my best to get it under the rock that I sometimes and
Excellent. Jason, where can people find you? So you mentioned that you're under a rock. Social media is not your most comfortable thing that you do. But if you were to point people into one of your platforms, which is your favourite one that you like to share?
You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. So so just Jason Resch Music and that's where kind of any updates and news and photos or whatnot.
New material.
So that's where you can find all me stuff.
You put guitar photos up?
No, not really. I'm not really a gear guy, to be honest. I love guitars. Yeah, but I couldn't tell you what gauge this is and all that. But I just love playing. Yeah, just love playing them. So yeah,
that's cool, man. I get it.
Excellent. Jason, it's been awesome speaking with you tonight. A little bit of a shortened show, and I do apologise for that because I'm just really flat out at the moment. Usually it's Rossy that's flat out, and Braggy's usually flat out having a snooze. So so we're the busy boys, and we're the ones that have fronted up tonight. So thanks, Braggy. All good. But it's been awesome chatting with you. It's really, it's fresh, it's different, it's quite unique what you've put out with Talk of the Town. So I wish you every little piece of success. Now, in respect for our next week's show, it's completely slipped my mind, but we do have another amazing artist joining us. It may be Thor Phillips joining us, or it may be Belgravia from Perth. It's one of those two anyway, so they'll be joining us next week on the show. We'll have Jason's links in the show notes, so if you've tuned in, you've listened, you've liked his vibe, make sure you check him out, follow him. His music has been added to our playlists, which are on all the major music platforms. So if you've loved what you heard, of course, follow us, share, dive into our Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon playlists. More artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and we will see you all again next week. Thanks so much, Jason. It's been lovely speaking with you.
Likewise, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for your support. Thank you.
You whispered your sweet nothings. You told them lies about me somewhere down the road. Well, I heard what you've been saying, the games that you've been playing. They're gonna realize just how the story goes. You live your life like you're some kind of saint, but even heaven knows you ain't. Now you're the talk of the town, talk of the town. of the town. The talk of the town.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.